Welcome to MMA Oddsmaker. I'm Nick Kalikas. Joining me today, I have Jeremy Botter and Reed Kuhn. Let's get started. Fight number 15. This time, a fight from UFC 160 in the light heavyweight division. Battle between Glover Teixeira and James Huna. This time, we're going to start off with Reed first. Reed, I am going to open up Teixeira minus 300. The comeback on Huna is going to be plus 220. With your $5 donated bankroll, give me your take and give me your bet.
Well, both these guys are heavy-hitting light heavyweights, and I'm not completely sold on the Teixeira hype train, but I am going to lean that way. I am going to go with Glover, despite being a heavy favorite here. I think the matchup favors his forward style of striking. It plays into that. Both fighters are over the age of 30. They both have very high striking accuracy and knockdown power. They throw a very high mix of power strikes. So it matches up favorably to see a slugfest, but Glover has a much faster overall pace against Rampage Jackson, who's a pretty good striker in his own right. Glover actually almost doubled his output. So he actually picks up pace with each round. To Huna, on the other hand, I expected him to come out and really look better against Ryan Jimmo in his last fight. He looked a little flat early. He had to actually rally for the decision win. So I don't think he's going to have that same ability to outwork Glover late in the fight that he did against Jimmo. So I just think the numbers stack up in favor of Glover. Despite the heavy line, I think he's still a pretty safe bet, and it's hard to argue with the run that he has put together. I mean, he's looked unstoppable over, maybe a dozen fights in a row. I don't even know what his win streak is at this point. So I'm going to go with the favorite, Glover.
Okay, so Reed is going to lay the juice minus 300. It's going to be 1,500 to win 500 on Glover Teixeira over James Huna. Let's throw it over to Jeremy Botter. Jeremy, what do you think about Huna versus Teixeira?
I agree with Reed on a lot of that. I'm not sold on the Glover Teixeira hype train. I do believe that he has some very good skills that could possibly take him a long way, but all this junk about him being the next Chuck Liddell, we really haven't seen anything along those lines, and we surely haven't seen enough to see him be a legitimate contender for Johnny Bones Jones yet. But at the same time, James Huna has just never impressed me all that much. He in any fight, and especially Reed mentioned the Ryan Jimmo fight. I mean, that was not impressive at all. He's never blown me away, and just because of that, I'm going to go ahead and take Glover at minus 300.
Okay, so Jeremy Botter also going to support the juice here, minus 300, 1,500 to win 500 on Glover Teixeira over James Huna. So both of our experts do agree that it's Glover's fight to win or lose here at UFC 160. My personal thoughts on this fight, it is kind of tough to lay that juice at 3-1. I do expect Glover to come away with a win here. Huna does have a lot of knockout power, and I am concerned, as you guys are, with Glover a little bit. I do think that the public kind of overhyping him slightly in this fight. He is very talented, very well-rounded, and on the other hand, Huna, like I said, very dangerous in game as well, but I am expecting Glover to come through. So make sure you guys stay tuned as we break fight number 16 on MMA Oddsmaker tomorrow.